Hello and welcome to KDEL's Project Management KSAs and PMO Setup and Operations. I'm Dr. KD Ewulu, Lead Coach at KD Leadership, and your presenter today. As always, I'll begin with a few opening facts, this time project management facts. Balancing the requirements of time, cost, and scope is good project management, and it helps to achieve the client's expected outcome. Project managers are subject matter experts, SMEs in short. And project managers plan and coordinate their involvement in achieving expected outcomes. On the other hand, project stakeholders include external and internal parties and can be categorized as positive and negative stakeholders, depending on how the anticipated project will impact them. We're now going to review project management fundamentals, as well as best practices for setting up and operating a project management office. I'll start with a brief definition of a project, a program, and a portfolio. A project is a group of activities that have start and finish dates, as well as scope, quality, and cost implications. Project management, therefore, is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, techniques to project activities in order to meet those goals. And project management, funny enough, exists in virtually all fields of endeavor, such as health, information technology, manufacturing, and construction, to mention a few. A program is a group of related projects or sub-projects managed in a coordinated manner to gain benefits that will not be readily available from managing them individually. In essence, program management, therefore, is the application of knowledge, tools, and techniques to a program in order to meet those prescribed program requirements and, of course, obtain the anticipated benefits. A portfolio is a grouping of projects, programs, sub-portfolios, and operations, of course, to achieve strategic objectives. And likewise, portfolio management, therefore, ensures that these groups of programs or projects are regularly managed in order to prioritize resource allocation, especially as the portfolio components are not necessarily interrelated. In essence, several subject matter experts with a common leader and goal make up a project. Several projects make up a program, and several programs make up a portfolio. Portfolio managers, therefore, oversee groups of programs. Program managers oversee groups of projects, while project managers oversee the activities of a single project or several simple or similar projects. Now, projects can be managed utilizing different sources, okay? It could be the waterfall, which is the traditional style of project management, the agile style, or hybrid technologies, a combination of the two. For today's brief presentation, I will be introducing the waterfall methodology of project management for the short presentation I have for us today. In the waterfall style of project management involves process groups, processes, knowledge areas, and deliverables. What is a project management process? It's a tool, a skill, a technique, or a capability that is applied by a project management professional in order to meet project deliverables. What are deliverables? Deliverables are outputs or end results of a course of action. There are about 47 project management processes and they are grouped into 5 process groups based on what time in the project's phase that they usually occur. For instance, the 5 project management process groups are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Bear in mind that monitoring and controlling is one process group. Let me repeat that again. The 5 project management process groups are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. The initiating process group involve processes that define a project and basically authorize the inception of a project. The planning process group, as the name typifies, focus on processes that establish the scope of a project, refine the objectives, and determine the appropriate action courses for attaining prescribed objectives. The executing process group involve processes performed to satisfactorily complete the specified work in the project management plan. That's where you implement, get things done. The monitoring and controlling process group, the 4th one, involve processes that track, review, and regulate project progress and performance while identifying and initiating areas that might require changes. And finally, the closing process group involve processes that finalize all activities across the process groups in order to formally bring closure to the project. Having said this, there are also 10 project management knowledge areas. These are, as their names indicate, project integration management, starting the project. Project scope management, defining the boundaries of a project. Project time management, looking at the time available and allotting time segments to different aspects of a project. Project cost management, costing, dollars, cents. Project quality management, what is expected by the client and having to stick to that level of deliverable. Project human resource management, how to manage the people who actually handle the project, who actually bring it to fruition. Project communications management, the different levels of communications involved to all the stakeholders involved in the project. You've got to have a plan for that. Project risk management, every endeavor has a risk. Your job as a project manager is to reduce the risk, manage the risk, mitigate the risk so that the project can be successful. Project procurement management, now you're talking about make or buy decisions. What are the things you're going to contract out? What are the things you're going to buy? What are the things you're going to make in-house? And then, of course, project stakeholder management, that is a larger version of human resource management because now you're talking about stakeholders, external, internal, vendors, clients, people who are doing the work on the inside. So there are 10 of these areas going on. Now, the outputs of all these project management areas, they combine to produce the project management plan. That's what we all are used to hearing, the project management plan. So in essence, integration, scope, time, cost, quality, human resource, communications, risk, procurement, and stakeholder all have their own management plans. You add it all together, that becomes the project management plan, which guides the execution of the project. Okay, let's look at some project management tools, because I did say I was going to share some tools with us. Tool number 1, the work breakdown structure, WBS. The work breakdown structure is a list of tasks that must be completed, in what order they should be completed, who the tasks are individually assigned to, and how much time is adequate for completing the tasks. Tool number 2, the network diagramming and analysis. This is the practice of aligning tasks according to precedence, which tasks must be performed first and which tasks depend on previous tasks for their commencement or completion. Task durations and personnel responsible for performing these tasks can also be a part of this tool. Tool number 3, the Gantt chart. This chart includes horizontal bars that show project tasks and their durations on the WBS page. Durations mean calendar dates, that show each activity's start and finish dates, as well as the links showing relationships between dependent activities. Note that task relationships can be finish start or start in nature. Finally, like the network diagram as well, the Gantt chart can also include names of resources charged with performing each task, as well as their degrees of involvement, meaning some are full-time and some can be part-time in nature. Tool number 4, critical path method. This is derived from the network diagram. And there are task paths that lead to the longest completion periods or that connect activities with zero slack. Every activity or task along the critical path must be completed within the time specified, otherwise the entire project will be late for completion. Now let's look very briefly at the Project Management Office PMO. The PMO is an organizational unit that centralizes and coordinates the management of projects within an organization. The PMO manages shared resources and communications across all projects. The PMO identifies and develops PM best practices and standards. And of course, the PMO coaches and trains and provides oversight to product managers and team members. So, in addition to the basic project management insights we just shared with you, the following should be targeted if we are to set up and operate time-saving, cost-saving, and scope-achieving project management vehicles. Number 1, you got to learn to use fundamental project management tools, Gantt charts, work breakdown structures, network diagrams, and critical path methodologies. Number 2, you got to leverage Slacks and resource leveling techniques during project planning and execution. Number 3, you got to encourage self-tracking by making your Gantt charts and network diagrams available for all team members. Number 4, you got to seek help from your functional manager, especially when you encounter difficult tasks. Remember that you're the SME in your project team. So be visible and in reasonable communications with all stakeholders, clients, vendors, PMO executives, portfolio managers, program managers, project managers, and of course, opposing entities. Having said that, I will want to just go ahead right now and share with you I'll share with you a certain slide that I want you to look at and make sure that you have access to it going forwards, okay? You've got to have access to this slide going forwards, okay? All right. Out. So having said that, these are the knowledge areas that I have shared with you going forwards, okay? And what I want you to do now is we'll go to the very end of this presentation where I'm going to be sharing with you the basics here, all right? What I'm sharing with you now is very, very important, so stay with me, all right? Stay with me. Our last 3 presentations were on team dynamics, change management, and of course, budgeting amidst scarcity, all right? You can watch replays of them on my LinkedIn profile page. I want you to enjoy it. Please do share the link with your team members. And of course, if you want to bring these trainings in-house to your team, just schedule on my online calendar at calendly.com/KDE leadership/30 minutes. I want to invite you to join me for our next LinkedIn live event on Friday, June 23rd. That is next week, again at 7 p.m. Eastern. The topic this time is going to be executive leadership do's and don'ts. I encourage you to sign up with us on LinkedIn to receive notifications for these events. They're already there. You can also join us via Zoom. The link is displayed on the screen. Finally, these short presentations, there are 5 of them in total, are a build-up to our 3-day virtual leadership conference coming up between July 10 and 12, 2023, conveniently scheduled between 8 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Eastern on all 3 days. Zoom details will be available once you register. The descriptions and sign-up link for the 3-day virtual leadership conference are at the bottom of the screen. For those who joined us on audio only, the leadership conference link is kdeleadership.com/KDEL-virtual-leadership-conference. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope today's presentation will be of help as you manage your projects effectively to set up and to operate your PMOs the right way. Hopefully, I'll see you again next Friday, June 23rd, 2023, at our next presentation on executive leadership do's and don'ts. Be safe. I am Dr. KD. I'm signing out. Bye for now, and thanks for having me.